Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I am here to share with you top thriller lesbian movies that I will highly recommend you all to go ahead, go watch, go support. Yes, it's a very interesting list, but before we get into further details, please, like I always say, please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get right into it. First, we're gonna start off with one of my personal favorites, and it's called Adan. It is a 2019 Philippine thriller drama that centers on Ellen, a naive young woman living in isolation under the control of her father, Lucas, in a remote cottage. Her only connection to the outside world is her best friend, Marian, who visits once a month. After an incident that allows Ellen to escape her father's environment, she flees to live with Marian. Their friendship eventually evolves into a passionate lesbian relationship, but obviously that relationship was also super toxic and super intense, where they just have this obsession and this control over each other as well. And also paranoia started to build up between the two. Yes, this one is available to rent or to purchase on Prime Video and Apple TV. And let me tell you, the ending of this movie definitely 100 trillion% surprised me a lot, because I definitely didn't thought that's the way the movie would end. So yes, this is definitely one of my personal favorite ones on the list. So that's why I had to include it, and I want you also go ahead, go watch, go support, because it is truly amazing. And then moving forward, we have Healed. Yes, it is a 2023 film. It is a psychological thriller that follows a famous lesbian couple, Jess and Olivia, who attend an immediate holistic meditation retreat in an attempt to repair their relationship. The retreat quickly becomes, unsettling as the doctor separates the couple, takes away their phones, and, subjects them to suspicious juices and exercises. While Olivia is initially, enthusiastic and trusts Jess, it becomes increasingly skeptical and paranoia as she realizes something, lies beneath everything that has been going on. Yes, so this one is very interesting. Yes, me personally, I saw like a couple of clips here and there. I saw the in this case the trailer, and it definitely looks like a movie that is worth the watch. Hopefully, I will get time very soon to go look it up and go see what it has to give. This one is in this case available to watch on Prime Video. And if you have watched it, would you highly recommend watching it, or would you just, tell me to skip it? Because, I'm kind of getting into, horror thriller lesbian movies. So let me know if you would recommend this one as well. Moving forward, we have The Retreat. It is a 2021 Canadian film. This survival horror thriller follows a lesbian couple, Reni and Valerie, who travel to a remote cabin for a weekend getaway with friends. Upon arrival, they find themselves missing and discover they are being hunted by a group of militant extremists who, live streams, guesses for elimination, and just to basically, record everything. Yes, and so basically the couple, they are fighting for survival, they are fighting for a way out, they are fighting to find out who's really behind it, and just, more of the story on how to survive while also, very much protecting each other and just making sure that, they are safe and that, they can get out of this alive. This movie got really good reviews. It is available to watch on Prime Video. And let me tell you, it also had really good reviews. A lot of people feel like the couple represented it like it really well. Always when you look out for a movie or lesbian movie to watch, in my personal research, you can always find this movie on the list, to watch. So if you haven't, I will highly recommend watching. It's very cute. The connection between the two is also very nice, and also the fact that they are fighting to survive together just makes the story for me even more better. Moving forward, we have Rebecca. It is a 2020 Netflix film. The primary lesbian plot refers to the obsessive and romanticized devotion of the housekeeper, Mrs. Danvers, feels for her, in this case, deceased, Mr. Rebecca, while the film remains a psychological thriller centered on the marriage between Maxine and his second wife. It utilizes like the queer, situation that undertones the drive that centers conflict, the most explicit obsession that in this case Darvers, possesses over Rebecca's bedroom, as she basically protects her intimate space and doesn't want anybody basically to destroy the memories that she has of Rebecca, and in this case one of the biggest memories that she ends up having of Rebecca in this case is her bedroom. Yeah, so she definitely was a devoted person to, in this case, Rebecca, and she had a lot of feelings for her. So now that Rebecca's husband is married to somebody else, that ends up causing a lot of conflict. And yes, you can basically see how the queerness is kind of like an undertone. It's not the main plot, but it's like an undertone, to this whole story. Yes, so go watch it, go support it on Netflix. It looks really, really, really good. And then moving forward, we have Attachment. It is a 2020 Danish romantic horror film. The thriller, the story begins when Maya and Leah meet and quickly fall in love. After, Leah suffers a mysterious seizure, Maya moves with her to London. There they live with Leah's mother, Shanna, who has her own ways of doing things, which definitely, doesn't sit well with her partner because she feels like her mother is overstepping and she doesn't realize that what she is doing in order or desperately trying to save her daughter's life, is not helping and is only making things work worse and bringing in more very, very darkness, to their lives and basically making things more and very, very much extremely complicated for the two. So now she must find balance on how to separate, how to be there for her partner, but also try to tell her mom or let her mom know that, like, hey, mom, I sorry her mother-in-law and tell her like, hey, what you doing is not okay. You need to stop because her actions and everything she was trying to do and she did was basically affecting the health of her daughter-in-law, and that actually ends up, bringing the thriller side of the movie into action. This one is available to watch on Prime Video. I have done a review regarding it on the channel, and it's really 100 trillion% worth the watch, so don't miss out. And then moving forward, we have Saint Mahudi. It is a 2019 horror thriller. The lesbian plot centers on the complex tension-filled relationship between Mahudi, a devoted religious, in this case nurse, and her patient Amanda, a terminal ill, formal dancer. Mahood harbors feelings of jealousy mixed with desire for Amanda. Unable to acknowledge these feelings, Mahudi, intermines them. Amanda is a romantic, and also, how can we say, she is also in an intimate relationship with Carol, which she actually ends up helping out Carol a lot, or paying for Carol's services, but they are dating, but they spend a lot of time together. So when in this case Maud ends up finding out, she didn't want, in this case, Amanda to be close to Carol no more. So she end up speaking to Carol, basically telling her, hey, I don't want you to see Amanda no more. And that's the moment where everything actually ends up turning, 0 from 100 real quick, because that is the moment that, after Carol told Amanda, that's where the thriller side of the movie starts to develop, because in this case later on Maudi got, fired, and that brought a lot of action to the movie. So this one is definitely worth the watch. It's actually really, really good. So yes, guys, that's basically it. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and if you all know any other amazing or really good thriller, horror, in this case, lesbian movies, please drop them down below in the comments so I can possibly do a part 2 very, very soon. It will all depend, on, the recommendations. Thank you so much. Until the next video, and goodbye.